In a game that carried the emotional weight of a postseason lifeline, the Los Angeles Lakers delivered the kind of performance that underscores their championship aspirations, and perhaps more importantly, their desperation. Coming off a dispiriting Game 1 loss, the Lakers bounced back with ferocity, seizing control early and never truly relinquishing it. The scoreboard may have told one story, but the deeper tale was one of resilience, execution, and star power aligning at just the right moment. LeBron James, the ageless marvel and heartbeat of this Lakers roster, pulled down a staggering 21 rebounds, his most in a playoff game since joining the Purple and Gold, while adding 7 assists. It was a vintage performance from the King, not necessarily in scoring, but in the way he commanded the court, anchoring both ends with poise and presence. Meanwhile, Luka Doncic continued to assert himself as one of the most dominant forces in the modern game, coming within a whisker of a triple-double with 12 rebounds and 9 assists. He too didn't shoot lights out, but his fingerprints were on every meaningful moment of the contest. Together, LeBron and Luka combined for over 50 points and, perhaps more significantly, 16 assists, a seismic jump from the mere they shared in Game 1. That shift in playmaking responsibility unlocked the Lakers' offense, injecting pace and precision into a unit that looked stagnant just days ago. Players like Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, and Austin Reeves thrived in that system, finding open shots and rhythm thanks to the gravity and vision of their superstar teammates. The Lakers raced out to a 34-15 lead in the first quarter, setting the tone with suffocating defense and quick-strike offense that caught Minnesota flat-footed. Minnesota, on the other hand, suffered their lowest scoring output of the season, a brutal reflection of both their offensive disarray and the Lakers' defensive tenacity. But the Timberwolves were far from outclassed. Despite an off night in nearly every facet, shooting just 38% from the field and hitting only 5 of 25 three-point attempts, they clawed their way back into the contest, eventually outscoring Los Angeles 70-60 over the final 3 quarters. Had it not been for a pivotal LeBron steal with 3 minutes remaining, the outcome could look dramatically different. The Timberwolves faced adversity early and often. Dante DiVincenzo picked up 3 fouls in the first quarter alone, while Naz Reid's 3rd foul early in the second further disrupted Chris Finch's rotations. Those fouls altered Minnesota's offensive flow, and without 2 of their key role players, the Wolves never found their rhythm. It's the kind of domino effect that championship teams capitalize on, and the Lakers did just that. But relying on 46 fouls being called and key opponents getting into early trouble is not a sustainable formula. This was the kind of must-win game that speaks volumes about a team's mental fortitude. And yes, the Lakers responded. But what's concerning for Lakers fans is that despite all the advantages, despite Luka and LeBron flirting with triple-doubles, despite the early dominance, Minnesota still made a game. That leaves an unsettling question. Was this the Lakers finding their stride, or simply taking advantage of an uncharacteristically poor night from the opposition? The Timberwolves, for all the turmoil, are not last year's squad. This is a retooled roster without former number 1 pick and soon-to-be All-NBA big man Karl-Anthony Towns, who's expected to be moved in the offseason. They're talented, but not as cohesive or as dangerous as they were in their 2024 Western Conference Finals run. And yet, the Lakers seem locked in what may become a grinding back-and-forth series. That raises deeper questions about LA's ceiling. Can this team string together consistent performances against elite competition? The night's other games only added to the intrigue of this young postseason. The Indiana Pacers took a commanding 2-0 series lead over the Milwaukee Bucks, even as Giannis Antetokounmpo posted a monstrous 34 points and 18 rebounds. Milwaukee, despite the heroic effort from its superstar, looks vulnerable, especially with Damian Lillard still finding his footing after a health scare. Meanwhile, Oklahoma City absolutely dismantled Memphis, raising eyebrows across the league. The Grizzlies, once a team brimming with promise and grit, now look like a franchise in existential crisis. Questions around Ja Morant's future continue to swirl, and for the first time, legitimate voices are beginning to ask, does Morant make this team better, or is it time to move on? As trade talks inevitably begin to form in the offseason, teams like Miami, Houston, and San Antonio may emerge as destinations where Morant could potentially rediscover the best version of himself, under the guidance of no-nonsense coaches and within championship-minded cultures. But for now, the Grizzlies are adrift, and the NBA world is watching closely. Back in Los Angeles, there's both optimism and unease. The Lakers did what they needed to do. They held serve. But the path forward is steep in Minnesota. Despite all their missteps, show they won't go quietly. Game 3 looms large, not just as a momentum swing, but as a true test of which version of the Lakers we're getting in this postseason run. Championship contenders or inconsistent enigma? We're about to find out.